We have told you about the perfect start towards a management position in an international business, but it is also what we get back from the companies. We are, of course, on a regular basis in contact with the companies, and what it is that the companies tell us is that they are searching for students that have the right attitude and the right skill set to be able to become the all-round business expert with a specialization in international management. So what does it mean? We train our students to have the right skills and the right attitude to be that person, and have, of course, the basic knowledge on that. Companies find it very important that students have the generic knowledge, and they will all provide our students with the correct knowledge that they need. So that's also why we find this very important. All the companies that we work with do recognize this profile with our students. So what is it where our students end up? Well, most of our students work with multinationals. These are of course the names that everybody knows, and around and about 40% of our students end up at a multinational in their first position. About 40% of our students choose to go to small and medium-sized enterprises, where in general we see that they have a more steep career path. Why is that so? Because small and medium-sized enterprises have more growth potential. Our students are able to bring the new products to existing markets, or existing products to new markets, and therefore internationalize these smaller companies and therefore make them grow quicker. And the last part of the student that we educate end up in entrepreneurial situations where they start their own companies and go for a life as an entrepreneur. On a regular basis, we talk with all of these companies, and what they in general say is that our students are valued for their positive can-do attitude, with the ability to apply theoretical knowledge to real-life business situations and come up with practical solutions. In this slide you see one of our companies that we work with from Australia, but in general all the companies that we work with value our students for their can-do, hands-on mentality to come up with practical business solutions based on the real-life situations and the real problems that they face. One of the success stories that I'd like to show you is of our student Vlad. To be honest, Vlad wasn't our very best student that we had. Vlad was from Romania and was very active in our university, in the student association, but also in our marketing department, trying to attract students from Romania. This is his picture from the time that he was helping us on the Romanian market. After he graduated, I lost track of him up until the moment that I saw this picture. Here we see Vlad again, a couple of years older, of course, sitting in the United Nations, being the youth representative for the United Nations for his country, Romania. So that got me curious, to be honest, because we've never educated Vlad to be in politics or diplomacy. So we called each other, and I asked him, "Hey, Vlad, can you tell me how did you end up here?" And he told me, "Yeah, there was this challenge, and I like challenges, so I enrolled." And the challenge was that the winner could be the youth representative for the United Nations. And he came there, and he was actually the only business student going up against a lot of politics and diplomacy students. And nobody gave him a chance, and he said that was my savior, because all day long I was able to see all the interviews with all these students. I was sitting in the back of the room, and I actually had a pretty good idea what they were searching for. So at the end of the day, I pitched my proposal, and yeah, I won. So that got Vlad into that situation, and we kept in contact. And he showed me later on this picture where he won the European Innovation Award for startup companies. What I didn't know was that Vlad encountered at the United Nations the chief innovation officer of Google or Alphabet, and he asked the help of Google. And yeah, Vlad is Vlad. He's a very good networker, so he got the help of Google, and he started his own startup company in Romania with a lot of his friends who are technical students. And what did he do? He started a logistical a service provider with focus on logistics and technology. Also topics that we've never trained him in. But since he is a very good networker, he collected a lot of very good people around him. And he is actually one of the fastest growing businesses now, co-owning in Romania, and a lot of big companies want to buy actually his company at the moment because he has the backup of Alphabet. And the last picture that I'd like to show you about our success story is Vlad now. At the moment that some of the big networks need some information about Romania, they call him. He is now no longer the youth representative of the United Nations, but they were so impressed with him at the United Nations that they have now asked him to be the youth representative for Romania at the World Trade Organization. So he keeps being busy as a representative for his country. At the same time, he has his own company in technology and logistics. And to be honest, we've never trained him in any of these things. What we have done is train him in the skills to present himself, to listen, to negotiate, and give him the right attitude to make it in international business. Of course, this is a success story, but if you ask Vlad, he says that the basis for what he is now able to achieve has been put into our education in Venlo, and it's a joy to see how Vlad is developing, but it is actually also true for all our other students who have the right skill set, who have the right attitude to make it in international business.